This video is to clarify what kind of retreats I'm doing, why they can be effective and useful for you, and what is inside of them. So I'm doing 2 consecutive weekends of retreats, Saturday and Sunday, and then we have the whole week, all the information to sink down, and then we have another Saturday and Sunday. What we're gonna do in these 2 weekends, we will do fast, very deep psychotherapy on you. And you're gonna do this in a group. So you will witness other people working on their problems and on their trauma. And while you're witnessing this, your own parts will be triggered and you're gonna get some new sensations or emotions, and we will discuss them afterwards. So the first thing is that you will work on your own psychic individually, one-to-one with me. And second of all, you will witness all of the people in the group doing psychotherapy on their own problems. And you will observe, while your colleagues are doing psychotherapy, what are the emotions and the feelings that arise in your body related with this experience that you are having. Why this is effective and fast way to fix some of your problems. It's fast and effective because your psychic is organized in parts. I'm Nadia, that is the mother of my son. I'm Nadia, that is a manager of her enterprise. I'm Nadia, the cook for her family. I'm Nadia, the funny one for her friends. So we have different parts inside of us. When the trauma happened, it's like a huge explosion. All the parts are flying around. You know, we are impacted. These different parts that are flying around become living entities inside of us, voices, and they're hijacking us in a certain moment and time during the day because they believe we cannot deal with a certain situation, so they hijack us, they glue with us, and they're doing all the job instead of us. These parts are called protectors. So all our psychic is organized in a way that we have different parts and they have different roles. So we have 2 types of protectors. The first type of protectors are managers. This is the part that wake us up in the morning, say, oh, Nadia, you must be hurry because you'll be late for your job. Brush your teeth, put your nice clothes, go there to take this package, do this, be nice to your colleagues. So this is a managerial part that is hijacking me in this moment and help me to perform in a way so not to be late for my job and to be a good colleague. There is another type of parts that are firefighter parts. When I feel sad, I go to the food store and I buy a lot of chocolate and I stuff myself with the chocolate, crying and watching romantic movies. So this part is hijacking me and say, we're gonna eat chocolate. You should not feel so sad. You should overcome this depression that is crawling towards you. Firefighter parts can beat someone on the street because we are triggered, they hurt us, and this firefighter come and beat the person. Firefighter part is the ones that drug us and the ones that make us drink a lot. So these 2 types of protectors, the managers are preoccupied how we look like in front of society. So they're preoccupied with our image, the managerial parts. The firefighter parts that are beating, drugging us, making us drunk, they don't care how we look in front of society. The only thing they care is to put the pain down. So when there is a pain, we are triggered and our inner children are surfacing from the subconscious to the conscious and we are like, oh, like this. Then the firefighter part comes, hijack us, and make us drink, drug ourselves, and so on. And the third type of parts are the inner children or the exiles. Why they're called exiles? Because they're put down in the dungeon. They're locked there. This is a small part that are frozen in time and space. When we were 3 years old, when we were 4 years old, when we were 10 years old, when we've been abused. Some trauma survivors been abused once. For example, there is some trauma survivors that were raped, and this is the trauma that they carry once. Another trauma survivors are constantly abused by narcissistic parents. So the abuse happened at 3 years old and 5 years old and 7 years old. So these are a lot of exiles or inner children frozen in time that carry the same burden. So they're different ages, but the same burden, the abuse of the narcissistic parent. Or, this is called complex PTSD or complex developmental trauma. So, and the other ones that happen once, the trauma happened once, for example, a rape, we have one frozen in inner child in the time and space, and yeah, it's just one. This is a bit simple way to explain it, but it's for you to get the idea. So what we are doing, how the session look like. First of all, when the client come, or we are in a group, we choose one of the people in the group, usually a volunteer. So we put it in a chair in the middle, the rest of the group is watching what is happening, and are quiet, and I start working on the system of the person. The person usually comes with a concrete question or something that bothered them, or a story that happened the previous week. So I will focus, I will put my parts aside, because I also have parts and I need to ask them to step aside, not to disturb my session. And we start. I ask the person to tell me about what we will work on. The person will tell me what they will work on. And after that, I'm gonna ask them, let's say it's some kind of anger that they want to work on. Where do you feel it in or around your body? Where you feel this anger, in or around your body? And usually the people say, I don't know, or they say, here, a little bit. And I ask them, how you will describe this kind of feeling? Oh, it's a bit tingling, it's like something heavy, So we focus on this thing, and we drop in to the inside network. Because going to a therapy, why the other therapies are not working? Because it's blah, 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 blah. It's the outside network. I'm listening what my client is telling me in cognitive therapy, or on a psychoanalytical therapy by Freud. And I'm listening, and from time to time, I'm asking questions. So everything is happening on the outside network. I ask my clients to drop in and to see what is inside of them. So they drop in, they close their eyes, or not close their eyes, they're just checking what is in the moment, they focus. And when they describe the anger or the other feeling, I ask them to focus on it. And then they start seeing images of some parts. Oh, I see a shadow stepping forward. Can you describe me how this shadow look like? Oh, it's gray, and there is like something like a black garment or something. How far is this shadow from you? 20 meters, but it's coming forward. Okay, how do you feel towards this part? We ask the client all the time, how do you feel towards this part? Because if they say, oh, I'm scared, this means that they're blended with another part that is scared from this shadow. And we need to blend them from the scared part. Why we need to do that? Because when you meet someone, hello, nice to meet you, you want to meet them with an open heart. You don't want to have prejudice, or you don't want to have some negative feelings. You want to give them space. You want to give to the new person, to the new part, to come towards you and really, really talk to you and connect with you. So you cannot be blended with another part. So if you are scared, we need to blend you from this part. So I will ask this part to step aside. And if this part said, no, I'm not going to step aside, this become our target part. So we focus on the part that doesn't want to step aside, and we ask it why it doesn't want to step aside. What is its role in the client system? From how long is in the system? what is the message that wants to tell now the client? What is important for the client to know right now? So this way we talk with these parts that steps forward. Usually they're protector parts. We talk with them and we ask them to step aside so we can enter to the inner children. When we enter to the inner children, to the exiles, we usually see very scared children at different ages, 5, 10, 15, 6 years old. And then we tell them who we are. We step forward and we say, hi, it's me. I'm you, but the older you. And then we introduce them to ourselves, to what happened in our life. They're usually very shocked. Oh my God, we survived. You are 30 years old, really? Oh my God, you graduated? You know, so these small children that are locked and thrown in the dungeon somewhere there, you know, suddenly come and they see that we succeeded so much. So we start parenting them. So they tell us their story. Because these inner children are triggered in different situations. When someone offends us or says something, the inner children are triggered. They start surfacing. They overtake us. They're small. They're crying. They're out of control. And the protectors jumps and like, oh my God, we need to do something to throw these inner children back and lock them in the subconscious. So we ask the protectors to step aside. We talk to the inner children. We ask them to show us what happened back then. Where is their pain? And they show us memories from the past. Sometimes the clients say, oh my God, I didn't know, I remember that. It's amazing. People think even that after the session, is this really happened? Or I created it? Is it some kind of illusion? But it's not. So we witness their story, and sometimes if there is an abuser, you know, we bring us like protectors, we beat the abuser, or we bring Jesus Christ or some other important figure, whatever this inner child or exile wants us to do for them, to redo the experience, because the experience was this way, but we need to rewrite it, redo it in a different way. When we redo it, we take the inner child to a safer place. This can be imaginary place or some place that you really, really love to visit. So we take this inner child to this safe place, and then we ask them to unburden all these pains that they're in their body, not in the body of the client, in the body of the inner children. Where in the body of the inner children are these burdens? Here, here, here. Okay, where you want to throw them? To the ocean, into the ocean, or to space, or bury them in the ground, or burn them in a big fire. So we perform this ritual, shamanic ritual, and then when all this pain is thrown out of the body of the exiles, then we invite new light, new qualities inside of their body. They can be everything: wisdom, love, patience, everything. And then we invite the protectors, because remember, we asked them to step aside. We did not forget about them, to step in and see this new inner child. And usually the inner children grow up, or they want to come to the present with us, so we take them with us. So they grow up and they become us. So the protectors see this big transformation. They say, okay, I don't need to work so hard to protect you in a different situation, so I'm going to change my job. And we ask the protectors what kind of job they would like to take in our system. Sometimes the critic become our biggest cheerleader. Bravo, bravo, go for it, you know. Some of the protectors pension. Some of them prefer to keep their roles, just in case. Everything is possible. So more or less, we are in a group. We ask someone to do the psychotherapy. We do it in front of everybody. And when it feels all complete for the client, we ask the client if it allows us to talk with the group and hear their opinion about what they witness. And usually the people are very supportive. they say it's wonderful job, it's great job. They also talk about their own feelings, what arouse in them while they were witnessing the inside what they were witnessing inside of their system. So this is the core concept of these retreats. We want to get a small group of people, not more than 9 people, and we want to work on the system of all of these people. Okay, it's very intensive, it's maybe invasive, but it's a good way to do fast therapy, and we use the healing power of the group. Okay, so first I'm gonna teach you to all the parts. We're gonna drink coffee, eat a nice cookie, then we sit and we talk about different parts and their roles. After that, we bring the first one inside of the group to do psychotherapy on them. Then we have a small discussion, a break. After that, we can do a meditation where we make a group meditation and we work on some angry parts or difficult parts inside of us, and we are proceeding in such a way.